everyone, welcome back to my channel, reacting to Dika. So last time on Snowpiercer, we had Asha finally feeling as if she was fitting in and finding her place. I think eventually we saw that little bit of a flashback where she was kind of struggling, stealing things from the market, things like that, and she finally was able to feel like she belonged with the agriculture, not agriculture, but yeah, the agriculture people who were looking to tending to plants and stuff to get them to be buried once they, or cultivated, sorry, once they had gotten off the train. They did, the team, Leighton and the team decided to go with, from the discovery from last time with what Wilfred had found out, that there was a particular point on a track where they think it was Melanie. Now, when they took this track, they obviously, the detour, they came across this poisonous gas. And Wilfred did say, what, you know, we came through here 18 months ago, it was absolutely fine. What reason do I have for putting you through this? And it's like, you know, I accounted for all of this, the train should be able to take it. But unfortunately, there was an issue with one of the vents, which meant that if that gas spread, which unfortunately it did end up affecting Sykes and Harvey at one point, if it spread, it was going to completely leave them out of a lot of resources, because it was coming through the point, AgSec, so it was coming through that point. So in an act of, so Leighton and Asha went down there to try and sort out and fix the vent, and in an act of sacrifice, Asha, there was the place where they had to go in to fix the vent, you know, Asha had to take off her breathing apparatus and her suit to try and fix it, which obviously she ended up sacrificing herself. We did find out prior to that she felt responsible. She was the one who killed off everyone else. That was when they were all hiding out. You know, she did it just to save her nephew, but in the end he died of cancer, so she never felt like a good person. And then and I was talking about last week how the episode title was perfect, because how she felt like she did something wrong, because essentially her nephew was going to die anyway. There was no need for her to have killed all those people, whereas now she had risked her life for the people that she grew to love on the train, so then they had an opportunity to go ahead to New Eden for them to reach there, and then she was happy to be the sacrifice. We did also have Till overcoming her own trauma that she was going through, and I like, there was a good sort of you could almost compare like Till's trauma and also Asha's trauma. Till felt like she was a bad person. She was like, you know, she had Audrey helping her kind of face her fears, you know, live up to the monster that she felt like she had become. And she felt like she was a horrible person. She was like, look what I used to do, I used to be horrible and I'm never going to be a good person. But she helped kind of break down those barriers, and where in this sense Till was able to finally find freedom in what she did, Asha put her life on the line to help the people who accepted her when she was in the dark. So those are two fantastic episodes. And obviously in the end, when they got through the cloud of sulfur, they found the thing that was giving off the beacon, which again, it's a huge gamble for them. It could be Melanie, it may not be Melanie, who knows? But you know, they went through a lot to get here. So here we are at the penultimate episode of season 3, episode 9, A Beacon for Us All. So that was a fantastic penultimate episode. A lot of things had happened which I wasn't expecting. Firstly, what Melanie did at the end, and that kind of proved my suspicions throughout, in terms of Wilfred knew Melanie was probably the more sane thinking one, critical thinking one, who would go follow his argument, and she did what she had to do, which was mental. I wasn't expecting her to do that, for her to literally throw down the gauntlet like that. I don't know what Wilfred's plan is. He poisoned all the brakemen that were there, using that, and that was a plan that was all corroborated with the likes of LJ, Mrs. Hedward, and oh god knows what, and everything on that side. I really hope Osweiler kicks her to the curb, because seriously, she's such a little pain in the arse. But it started off with this optimism. We had Melanie back on the train, you know, the woman who technically gave us the opportunity to do all of this. And yes, Wilfred even said it, you know, I needed somebody else that was thinking sane. I'm the only person thinking sane in the whole world. He believes that Alex was influenced by Leighton, that's why she ain't thinking right, you know, but you're the only one. He was like, basically that track Firstly, for the fact that they're going to be going at on the most dangerous part of the track to a place which technically does or doesn't exist, proper Schrodinger's cat situation here, it was just not worth it. And she had her doubts and she was worried. She was like, at the end of the day, that track, if we go up that track, there's no coming back. Imagine if there's nothing there. You know, they've probably been avoiding that part of the track and moving on, but there was literally no return, and she was not willing to take that risk. You know, I'd rather go somewhere which doesn't exist and we end up killing everyone along the way, or we get there and it still doesn't exist and we're stuck in this situation, which was absolutely epic. You know, everyone was in a jovial mood. They were going to be passing the periods for the last time, because once they got out of Cairo, they'd be hitting the Horn of Africa. But unfortunately, that whole dream had come crashing down. I did like in the beginning how we saw Melanie was surviving, and that was amazing. Again, once an engineer, always an engineer. She was putting herself into deep sleep and suspension to make sure she had lasted. I wonder what Wilfred's next move is now, because he's now escaped. I wonder what that's going to do. He even said, you know, enjoy that, we're going to be going to war, which we will do. We've got people who now think, the people who are kind of against Leighton or had their doubts about Leighton are now 100% Wilfred's going to be manipulating them on taking them on their side. Then you've got whoever's still loyal to Leighton. Everyone in that engine room in Big Alice are the only real loyalists left. Even Roche is probably doubting it, like, you know, you sold us a lie, what the hell's going on, sort of thing. We came this whole way. This was something that even I think Ruth even mentioned it, that part of the track was the most dangerous, but you had to sell a lie, you know, for them to visualize the dream. But Melanie was just not taking that risk. You know, she's more of a she's not an optimist. She doesn't believe in fantasies and fairy tale. Her logic lies in real hard facts and being able to see the truth. And then it's now drew a full line down. You know, you've got Melanie with Harvey again, and that's why she was like, has Harvey looked at this? And Harvey probably would have called out on the bullshit but was sold the lie. And he's now like, not fans of Ben, definitely not Ben, not fans of Leighton. And like Leighton said, it's time for Spears and Shields to have to defend themselves. I got a feeling the people in the tail will be defending Leighton, but then you've got people in first, like he said, that will be on Wilfred's side now. It's like, you sold us a lie, you were going to get us off this train, and this is what Wilfred was hoping to happen. He just needed one more person, and Melanie, he knew Melanie was the one to do it. He couldn't do it. He was portrayed as this big bad evil. Leighton was this new freedom fighter person, and obviously he knew if he found Melanie and he told her the facts in trig algebra form, the facts on paper, she said the maths is not mathsing, we need to stop. And before they hit that track to the Horn of Africa, they were going to turn. That's the only way. So now I'm excited to see how this finale rolls out. You know, we are going to have a war. I don't know what's going to happen with the likes of LJ and Osweiler, because I do believe, regardless of what happens between them in terms of what side they take, LJ's proper effed in the head. You know, he needs to get rid of her. And Wilfred has kind of done what he set out to do. Now he just needs to hit the finishing blow. So I'm wondering what that's gonna, like, where that's gonna take him. He was always thinking, like, he always knew. He was like, after he looked at the details and he looked at it, he realized, you know what, something doesn't seem right about this. And, you know, everyone was going on the promise that Leighton was there. Leighton saw it. Leighton was able to give them evidence. That's why Asher was brought into the fray. Now that's gone all up in smoke. It's now down to who's going to essentially has more power to take over the trains. And here we are. And obviously we've got the overbearing thing. Like, if, depending on how the next episode plays out, is there a New Eden? Is there a place they'll be able to get to? Somewhere they'll be able to find? Is this place even exist? So who knows? But no, that was amazing. I cannot wait. We are spear train full throttle head towards the final, and it's been an epic season so far, and I can't wait. And if you did like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time.